Joe, the calendar says 2025, but when I see you in a uniform here, I'm flashing back to 1996. When I say 1996, what does that mean to you?
Well, I remember because it would have already taken place by now, but my first meeting with the whole squad, you don't give your A stuff to the pitchers and catchers. And I was just very nervous because I know how important that meeting is, and I wanted to say something that, would be digested. And but it was exciting for me. My brother Frank, may his soul rest in peace, when, I accepted coming over here, he says, "Are you crazy? You realize how many managers this guy has had and fired?" I said, "Well, I've been fired 3 times, so it's nothing I hadn't experienced before." But I just felt it was an opportunity to work for an owner that wanted so badly to win.
Joe, 4 World Series in 5 years. I'm not sure we'll ever see that again in baseball. I know you could give an answer that would last an hour, but what was it about those teams that made them so special?
Well, the 96 team especially, they, right away, and when you dream about as a manager, you need a group of unselfish people. And that's what I had. I mean, they helped each other. And I think, we started out well. I remember George saying to me, when we had a short lead early on, he says, "I don't know how you're doing it. You're doing it with mirrors," because, we did it with Girardi safety squeezing a lot. And then I think at the All-Star break was a big break for us because we wound up with Strawberry and Big Daddy. And, I think that gave us the thump that really put us over the top.
When Aaron Boone was hired as manager, I remember calling you, and one of the things that resonated with me was you said he's comfortable in his own skin. You've watched Booney manage now as you watched from afar, and he joked around that there were times where you were also levying the fines on him when you were with Major League Baseball. What have you liked about Aaron's managerial style?
When I see him go nuts with the umpires, there's also a video on YouTube that's traveling around with my obnoxiousness, and I sort of felt what he felt, but still had to slap him down. But the thing is, to me, when I think of Booney, I just think of his family. He comes from a baseball family. His grandfather, his father, and the fact that he witnessed it from up above, which to me I think is a real benefit. I know it helped me when I worked for the Angels and was watching managers manage, and I'm trying to manage with them.
You've had a lot of titles attached to you. World champion is a very nice title to have attached to you, but more than a decade ago, the Hall of Fame. How much does it still hit you that if someone introduces you, it's Hall of Famer Joe Torre?
It's something, Jack, that I never gave a lot of thought to because it was something I had no control over. I just did what I could do, and, for other people to decide how good it was. And but I don't think it really struck me. I remember hanging up on Jane Clark when she called to tell me I was in the Hall of Fame, because it was like, I think it was 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning. She called me in Florida. But when I showed up for the weekend of my induction and I walked through the front door of the Oda Saga, Al Kaline was the first one to come up to me and welcome me. And at that point in time, I think it struck me how special this place was.